Alright guys, I've been working on flocking some of my decoys. As you can see, some of the paint and stuff starting to kind of fade out, and I repainted it a couple times and it's just starting to kind of look grungy, so I decided I'd buy a flocking kit online. I bought it from flockit.com. They have different types that you can buy. If you want to do flocking for a mallard, they actually sell a mallard green, but you want to make sure that your flocking material is made from nylon. A lot of it is made from Rylon, and Rylon, from my understanding, will not last in the elements. So what I like to do is I've also went ahead and bought a sanding block from Walmart, just a couple bucks. And I think this one I got is 180 grit, but I kind of like to wet sand it, so what I'll do is I'll take yard nose here and just kind of get it a little wet. And then take my stone, or take my sponge, and just start really working it good. And just kind of roughing that surface up here, so that way when I go to paint it here after a while, it'll adhere to it better. So we'll pick up there. Alright everybody, here's my my G&H, and my dog Chip. My G&H decoy. I went ahead and wet sanded it, and I've got it kind of slightly rough. You can't really feel it too much unless you rub it just the right way. But as you can see, you're going to leave some of the paint on. What we're going to do is we're going to take some blue 3M masking tape, and I usually try to work from about halfway down the back over, just in case I'm going to spill any paint on it. Now the stuff I've seen says you can use the glue that they sell with the kit. I've also read that you can use green oil-based paint. I went looking for Rust-Oleum everywhere in town, and nobody had the green, so I got a little bit more expensive Valspar from Lowe's. They had it where I could tint it any shade of green I wanted, so I tried to get as close to this green as I could, or as I could remember. It's actually a little bit darker, but I've done a couple already, and it actually, you can't really tell too much, so it looks pretty good. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll start taping it up and getting all the lines shown that we want to cover and what we don't want to cover. Now, what's nice about the G&H's is they've got the head that turns, so that means there's a little crease right here that you can actually feed the paint or the tape into to help cover that off. And then I'll tape around the beak and underneath the beak as well. And yeah, oh, and I taped the eye too. I've read you don't have to, that you can scrape the flocking off of it and it looks just fine. I don't want to take a chance of tearing the eye up. With my luck, I'd pop the eyes out or they'd look ridiculous, so I go ahead and actually put tape over them and then take a pocket knife and just kind of gently cut around it until I get a circle made, and then I cover the eyes up. So I'll go ahead and tape this up and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I want to show you here. What I did is I tore off a piece of tape and I just kind of covered the eyeball with it just a little bit. And I take my finger and I just kind of press it in there. You know, kind of use your fingernail a little bit. Then you can see the outline of the eye there. And what I'll do is I'll take my pocket knife and I'll just come in and trace around it with the blade, and once I get a nice well cut, then I'll peel this back off. I didn't actually push it all the way down. And I'll make sure that stays on by either holding my finger there to help it tear along. And when I'm done, it will give me a covered eyeball. I don't have to worry about getting flocking and stuff on it. Alright, so now that we've got our decoy taped up, what we're going to do is get some paint on the paintbrush here. And just apply it very liberally everywhere that we want there to be flocking. It's a good idea to put down more than less, just because this is going to essentially be the glue that holds your flocking to your decoy. So what I'll do is I'll actually paint the green all over, and then I've got black that I come up at the back of the head and put that on there, and then we'll flock it. Okay, now as you can see, I've got the black paint on there, and I've got the green on fully. So what you're going to do is take a flour sifter or a some kind of a screen of some sort, get you a little bit of flocking in there, and then just dust it on. And you'll want to apply a very liberal coat of this. You know, you move your decoy around, get around it, all sorts of different sides, and as you apply it, you can tap it on the side of the bucket. That's what I used to use. This was a $2 or $3 bucket we got from Walmart for doing dishes with, and just knock some of the extra loose off, and then reapply. And you'll do that until it's completely covered, and then you set it off to the side and let it dry. The can says it takes 8 hours to dry. I'm just going to let mine dry overnight and do the second coat tomorrow. Okay, so you can kind of see here I've got the flocking on there, and you just want to shake off the excess. You can see it flies around everywhere, so when you do this you want to make sure you don't have any fans on, no air conditioner, nothing like that. And then just knock some of the excess off and let it dry overnight. So you can kind of see there's a little bit of the black streak in the back. It's kind of hard to see it, but we'll put the second coat on tomorrow. Okay, you can kind of see here, this is after a different decoy that I just flocked. It is hard to see the dark coloring on it, but the green comes out looking really good. And this is why you paint it, or you tape up, because when you're painting you can drip a little bit here or there, and this stuff is a pain to clean, and I'm sure it'll probably ruin your decoys trying to clean the extra paint off of it. There's going to be a temptation to touch this thing, and I kind of want to. I mean, I've seen people do it. You gotta just be very careful, very gently, but you can tell that it's sticking to it. You don't want to touch it too much. There's a chance you could rub it and loosen up the extra fibers or whatnot. But yeah, after this dries, after 24 hours, I'll repaint all this again, and I may just do black first and then flock the black part, and then come in and then do the green after that. But yeah, it's not very expensive, and turns out it looks pretty good when you're done. So I'll get some pictures up and show you guys what one looks like after it's dry. Okay, I just remembered I had another decoy that I painted yesterday, and it's not totally dry, but it was close enough, so I went ahead and pulled off the tape. That looks just good. I mean, can't really see the black on the back like I was hoping, but not a deal breaker for me. By the time the ducks notice, they should be within range of the shotgun. But yeah, $20–$25 bag of flocking, $10–$15 can of paint, and some masking tape, which if you got to buy some, I think it was $3 or $4. But a little bit of time, and you got enough that you can do well over a dozen, or even, well, just looking at the bag of flocking I got over there, almost 3 dozen decoys with it. So if you're considering working on your decoys, this is something you might want to try.